Here we go. Here we go. All right. Oh, okay. I'm about to, okay. Now, now the up top camera, our cameraman, he's actually down here on the floor with us. So
and a player for a very long time at Johnson C. Smith, and Tuskegee has the illustrious Jerry Dunn. He's most famous in my heart as the Penn coach, Penn State, who defeated North Carolina. And I think I might have been a teenager, but really hurt my feelings there. But
well, you're carrying that far along, huh?
Well, let me tell you.
Coach Dunn in his 5th year at Tuskegee. Players to watch this afternoon: Jalen McMillan for the Wildcats of Fort Valley and Miles Thomas for the Golden Tigers.
Jalen almost won the SIAC championship a couple of years ago. Had a chance at a three-pointer at the buzzer that have won the game. He's second-team All-Conference. Miles Thomas, he was preseason SIAC Player of the Year. Omar Alston from Morehouse actually got the Player of the Year, but he's second-team All-Conference as well. So it will be a superstar matchup amongst those two guys and the starters for both teams.
Getting set for basketball action from the Bill Harris Arena. Back with the tip-off after this. This is Flow Hoops. Back live inside Bill Harris Arena, getting set to start the 2019 SIAC Championships. Men's action your way first here from the Bill Harris Arena. Glad you could join us for our coverage on Flow Hoops. Charles Ward, Tolly Carr with the call. Tuskegee at 12-14 overall, 8-10 in the SIAC. They finished 5th in the West. They will meet the number 4 seed out of the East, the Wildcats of Fort Valley, and Fort Valley at 7-21 overall and 6-11 in the first year for first-year head coach Mark Sherrill. So should be a good matchup. These teams met once during the course of the regular season. That was way back in 2018 in December. They played at Tuskegee in Fort Valley on the road, taking a hit there by the Golden Tigers, lost at 68-52 in that contest. So a matchup of that contest of these teams coming in this first round of the SIAC.
Well, one thing that's a little different this year, the Tuskegee band has made the trip. They made the trip here. Not too bad of a drive from Tuskegee to Birmingham. So, look, the first day of any tournament, Charles, you have to create your own energy. The crowd sometimes want to see if you're going to be here for the long haul for the week. So having the band here, there's also some fellow student athletes here to support Tuskegee as well. So listen, you still got to get out there and play. You got to put the hoop in the basket, but anytime that you can have some extra energy on your side in these neutral venues, right now you have to give that slightest of edges to Tuskegee right now.
Tuskegee coming in at 8-10, starting lineups being introduced here inside the Bill Harris Arena for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. We'll start with Fort Valley instead, though. Going to be Sean Foxbrennan, the junior, starting for them. You see the 5 there on the court. He'll be joined by Jalen McMillan, second-team All-Conference. Leon Perry gets a start as well. And it's Cavante Williams, the junior from Marion, Alabama, starting, and then Brendan Clyde Jordan, the other 5 for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Tuskegee already been introduced here inside the Bill Harris Arena. Tuskegee look a little bit larger in terms of size out on the floor as they make it out onto the floor. They'll go with Daniel Roach. Roach, the senior from Swanee, Georgia. He'll be joined by Caleb Morton. Also out starting Mike Young at the center position. And it'll be Miles Thomas. We highlighted him in the pregame. He'll be joined by Joshua Culver. Those are the starting 5 for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Officials for this first contest of the SIAC, Errol Lewis, Donald Daniels, and Mackenzie Marbury.
Yeah,
Players here, we're here, officials here. Let's get to it.
Yeah, Daniel Roach only started 8 games this year. Kind of a, I don't know, what the philosophy was, but a little bit of a step back as far as playing time and what you expected out of him coming into the season as we are underway, Charles.
And it's going to be on the Tuskegee end of the floor first to get us going. Wildcats showing early zone here as Tuskegee works it down at the perimeter. Yeah. On the baseline, trying to get it down low to Culver. On the inbound line, first turnover gives it back to Fort Valley. Yeah,
Fort Valley coming out in a 2-3, and Tuskegee tried to thread the needle there, but it ends up in a turnover.
So now Wildcats half-court set. Hard penetration under the block. Left over for McMillan. The floater inside the paint. Won't stay down.
Battle of philosophy here, Tuskegee and Fort Valley. Fort Valley facing a man-to-man by the Tuskegee defense early on.
So out front now, this is Roach with the basketball. They're trying to work it down at the block over to Culver. Roach fires a 3, back of the iron. Long rebound goes out of bounds, and it'll go to the Wildcats of Fort Valley.
And that's what you see against the 2-3. You want to work the ball around the perimeter. You're eventually going to find a soft spot in that zone. The question is, can you make the shots?
Right now, neither team has scored. We're at just a minute expired here in this first half of play. 2019 SIAC basketball tournament. The Crossplex Bill Harris Arena from Birmingham. All front now. This is Foxbrennan with the basketball. Now on the move inside the paint, Williams underneath the defense, missed on the shot, tie up under the block.
Yeah, a little out of control on that shot. Saw the opportunity there, but got in the air and had to make some decisions there.
So in the jump ball, the possession arrow gave it to the Wildcats, so they'll stay half-court set. 1 to shoot. They got it before the buzzer, but missed on the shot. McMillan's 0 for 2 from the floor thus far.
He's a shooter. He will not hesitate to put that up again if he finds himself that open.
So Tuskegee now. Roach pushes to Krepke. Cam Krepke, the junior from Mobile, Alabama, and they'll get him for the travel violation.
And you look at that Tuskegee offense, they've pretty much got 4 people spread out on the perimeter and 1 person down in the paint there looking for an opening. But so far, not been able to crack that 2-3 by Fort Valley.
And neither team able to crack in the scoring column thus far at 18:08 left first half. Still scoreless. Out front, McMillan now. And Perry with a touch. Now on the move. This is Fox Brennan. His shot is off the mark.
Tuskegee has done an excellent job so far contesting the ball on every penetration.
Pushing three-pointer from way outside by Thomas is off the mark, and we go back the other way. You know, it's interesting where we are right so far, Tolly, with just a little bit 17:30 left first half with no score. I was talking to Coach Brewer from Morehouse College at the end of the season.
Coach of the Year, Brewer.
Indeed, yeah, we should put that title on there. Coach of the Year. We'll be talking more about them when they get in action on Wednesday. But he said one of the concerns that each team has coming over into the Bill Harris Arena is that you have the open ends behind the backboards, and it's difficult for the shooters to kind of adjust their accuracy or depth is what the problem is.
Yeah, across the SIAC, majority of the places, there's a brick wall right behind that basket. Not the case here.
So popping out now, this is Thomas. Jumper outside, a first basket of the ball game goes to Caleb Morton, the sophomore from Brooklyn, New York.
I was worried we'd get to the first media timeout with no score.
We avoided that. The first basket goes to the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. It's a three-pointer.
Let's see how long Fort Valley stays in that zone if Tuskegee can start to knock down those shots from the perimeter.
McMillan again missed on the jumper, but a rebound gives him another look. This time the jumper out front, left on the front cylinder by Cavante Williams.
Yeah, McMillan will find this stroke, and it won't be for lack of trying if he doesn't.
Morton again for 3. That one's off the mark. They get a fresh 30 on the rebound, though, but the steal by the Wildcats. Williams spins inside. Worked down inside the paint by Roach. Got a little too aggressive. A correction on that. That's Morton on the defense.
And, you know, it just feels like a first-round tournament game. Is what it feels like.
Yeah, I bet it's a set of nerves coming into this situation, and it's also the fact that you're on a new floor. A lot of times these teams meet during the course of the year. They're used to at least playing on the opposition's floor. Neutral ground here in Birmingham. 3-0 lead for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Winner advances in the SIAC championship. Across the floor now, McMillan wants to get off. He'll penetrate inside, and he drew a foul on the penetration.
So I think he's taking the philosophy, if I can get it to go from deep, let me get a little bit closer to the basket, and nothing will get your confidence up like hitting a makeable shot, or even better yet, drawing contact and going to the free throw line and getting on the board.
Say that foul occurred on the floor, so no shooting there. But Wildcats will have the basketball. McMillan again firing, got a spin, and a good shooter's roll on that one.
I told you he'd get there. All of his shots were just a little short so far. That one was a little short too, but he got the friendly roll.
Makes it a 3-3 ball game after the triple.
He'll make the adjustments.
Morton out front. Now Greg Boyd, the sophomore, on the floor now for Coach Dunn. They got it over to Morton again. Morton missed on that three-point effort.
He's been open. He hit one early. It might be poison.
1 of 3 thus far from behind the arc for Martin. Now they're trying to work it inside to McMillan. Tough work inside the paint. Banked it too hard, though.
You're seeing the size of Tuskegee on the defensive end. A lot of double pumping and clutching. A good move, but when your man has a couple of inches on you, Charles, it just makes it hard to put the ball in the basket.
Morton out front now, 14 to shoot for the Golden Tigers. Across the floor, this is Morton, got some space. Spinner won't stay. A rebound comes clear, and another jump ball going to be called. This time it'll stay with Tuskegee. Good tie up on the inside there with Thomas Massey and Brendan Clayette for the Wildcats.
Charles, this game looks like a lot of fun, man, because they are putting the ball up. not much regard for the shooting percentage. It's just a matter if you are open, get the ball up.
They're letting it fly. 14:57 left. We come to our first time out. 3-3 ball game, Wildcats and the Golden Tigers. Stay here on this break. As this ball game, you're right, Tollies, everybody's shooting it. Percentages are not there, but you expect that to change the more trips they make up and down the floor here.
And it's early. I mean, you know, teams are used to playing at this time on a Saturday, but it is a Monday afternoon. And if you're on the East Coast, I mean, you're still having lunch right now. You're in the Chick-fil-A line somewhere, but they are playing a basketball game right now. I would say, Charles, probably it may be, we may get down to the 8-minute mark of the first half before both teams actually start to get their sea legs beneath.
We're at 14:57 left first half. Get connected with Peachtree City, Georgia, as the SIAC hosts the 2019 Tennis and Golf Championships. The best teams in the league will showcase their talents April 15th through 17th as they face off to claim the championship title. For more information, visit www.thesiac.com. Live basketball action here from the Bill Harris Arena. On Flow Hoops, the SIAC Basketball Championship whistles there. And a turnover by the Wildcats.
Stepped out of bounds. So
Tuskegee stepped out.
What we've seen so far, Charles, is a three-pointer from each team. Penetration has been very hard for Fort Valley, facing that length of Tuskegee. And Fort Valley stays in that 2-3 zone until Tuskegee can confirm that they will shoot them out of that. But so far, not the case.
Indeed, looking at the numbers from the first 5 or 6 minutes of the ball game. Remember, their fall's good for the Wildcats. They claim their first lead.
How about that, a mid-range jump shot?
At that media timeout, just 16% from the floor for the Golden Tigers, 1 of 6. And Fort Valley lower than that at 12.5, 1 of 8.
And you got to think, Charles, for some of these guys, this is going to be it.
Sure.
This could be a career, and there's no way that's not in the back of your mind. Nice alley-oop there.
Yeah, Greg Boyd, nice pinpoint pass on the inside. Roach, the recipient of it, and he got the lay-in. So we're tied at 5 now.
I had a chance to talk to Roach a lot during football season. I saw him on the sidelines, and he was telling me that this was going to be their year. Maybe not the greatest regular season, but they have a chance to make some magic here this week.
Down low, Fox-Brennan got the position. He was fouled. Coming over the back was Riley Hamilton, the junior from Moreno Valley, California. And Hamilton, late entry into that Golden Tiger program, but has really made the difference for them down the stretch. 1 point during the season, Tuskegee won 8 in a row. And then quickly after that, they dropped the last 8 out of 9.
Had a chance to see Roach also this summer at the SIAC and the SWAC have a partnership with the NBA, and they have their top 50 camp. Roach has participated in that the last couple of seasons, so well known around the SIAC, and this could be a week where he solidifies that name. But first, got to get past this 2-3 zone here at Fort Valley.
Fox-Brennan from the line that trip, not able to convert on either, so we stay tied at 5.
Actually, Fort Valley's going to the man-to-man now.
Jordan Gaines, the sophomore, out on the floor now for Coach Dunn in Tuskegee. Handling the basketball is Boyd. Now that's Gaines with it. They go down at the block and pushing it back out front. On the move, Hamilton. Corner jumper by him. Yes, sir.
That left hand is hard to guard there. You got the southpaw stroke.
Hamilton, 9 points per ball game for the Golden Tigers in the regular season. His first 2 of the championships.
Tuskegee assistant coaches, they are fired up in the game. We got 3 coaches over there clapping and off the bench.
And inside, nice work by Fox-Brennan, controlling his body and got the lay-in.
And on the other end, Mark Sherrill, just as cool as a cucumber. He coached for many years under Stephen Joyner Sr. at Johnson C. Smith in the CIAA. He's a cool character as well, so he has inherited that personality from his coach.
Member of the Johnson C. Smith Athletic Hall of Fame as well.
CIAA Hall of Fame. About 2 years ago, so well-known Coach Sherrill.
Down inside the paint, Tuskegee got to hurry. They got it before the buzzer. Inside, good heads-up play by the sophomore Greg Boyd.
It was a little reckless, but it's 2 points nonetheless.
Behind the arc, McMillan chumps a three and racks up a three for the Wildcats.
Charles, he just had to find the proper length on the ball. He had left him a little short, but that one was dead on the money. I think he's locked in.
Right now, Tuskegee with the basketball. They lead it by 1. Basketball tapped over our way.
And if you are Tuskegee, you do not want to hear that. Jalen McMillan locked in.
Sure, that's exactly what you don't want to hear. Timeout on the floor, 11:59 left. Tuskegee with a 10-9 lead over the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Step out for a break here on Flow Hoops. Back after the timeout, 11:59 remains, first half. It's the Golden Tigers trailing the Wildcats of Fort Valley 10-9 as we get set for basketball action after the timeout. Right now, shooting percentages going north, Tolly.
Well, they couldn't have gone south.
Had a little bit more room to go south.
Our first time out, they were like 16%.
4 of 9 from the floor for the Golden Tigers at 44%. For the Wildcats, they've up there 36%, 4 of 11.
Crimson Pipers, their pep band, sounding good here on an early Monday afternoon in Birmingham.
Wildcats right back into that zone defense after the timeout.
Yeah, they jumped out in that man-to-man, and then they come right back, and we've seen them the last 2 possessions get their hands out in the passing lanes, disrupting that Tuskegee offense, now down to 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Cam Grepke back out on the floor for the Golden Tigers, out front firing a jumper, and fouled on the three-point shot is Grepke.
He didn't need to close out because Grumke was going to be rushed anyway because of the shot clock, but didn't give him room to come down, so now he's going to go to the free throw line for 3.
Fort Valley had exactly what they wanted on that defensive set, just committed that cardinal sin there with a three-point shot going up. Desperation at the buzzer, they commit the foul.
Look at Coach Sherrill. You can't tell if his team just committed a foul or got a slam dunk. His demeanor has not changed at all. Not yet.
Grepke for the second of 3. Better spin on that one. He knocks that one down. 73% free throw shooter for the Golden Tigers. One more coming here. Terrence Evans, the freshman from Stockbridge, Georgia, now out on the floor for Coach Sherrill and the Wildcats.
Yeah, and so far, Tuskegee has, they've played about 10 players so far. Fort Valley still with their starting 5.
Grepke with that free throw, 2 of 3 that trip at the line. Tuskegee with the 11-10 lead now. Wildcats with the basketball.
Tuskegee deploying the troops on Fort Valley here. McMillan.
Had a good look there. Still trying from out front. This is Jordan Gaines handling.
It's got to be a good feeling, Charles, to have that green light right there, man.
Yeah, he takes it from any spot on the floor. Top of the key, Jordan Gaines with it.
Some players, they miss and they look over to the bench. Not McMillan.
Roach across the floor with 5 to shoot. Got it again. Going to be another foul on McMillan this time as Grepke got bailed out on a shot opportunity there. Back to the free throw line.
That was a good contest. The referee is coming over and explaining to him exactly his transgression. McMillan's going to see it differently, of course, but the end result will be some free throws here.
McMillan picking up that personal with 10:48 left first half. Tuskegee with a 12-10 lead. And Grepke can't convert from the line. Got one of those. Missed on the second. Top of the key, D'Angelo Strickland, the senior, on the floor now for Fort Valley, handling. Now back to McMillan. Shake, bake with the jumper, looks off. The spinner is off for McMillan. So Tuskegee back the other way with a 2-point lead. They work it down at the block. Culver spins inside, won't stay down, but got the backside rebound. That's Krepke. He got it ripped from him inside the paint.
It's funny. They call the game a lot tighter on the perimeter than they do
inside.
down in the paint.
We've seen most of the fouls on the jump shots.
I saw about 2 maulings down there, and that ended up as a jump ball, but you touch a shooter, and that's free throws.
Yeah, down in there, I think they think if they don't see any blood, it's no foul. So the Wildcats will have the basketball after they went to the possession arrow. This is Tyler Edwards out front now. Andrew Ziegler handling the basketball for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. And a blocking foul sends it back to Tuskegee.
Yeah, quick whistle there, maybe. That's karma from the mauling on the other end.
So the Wildcats going to jump into full court pressure now. We're at 10 minutes left first half. Thomas, left corner, pushes all the way across the floor and threw it high.
Yeah, he threw that one over to Miles College right there.
That turnover gives it back to the Wildcats.
Can you play quarterback?
Well, it's going to need a little work on that.
He's got the length for sure.
That one thrown high.
Put him in on all Hail Marys.
Out front, on the push at the block. This is Ziegler. Missed on the shot, but there for the putback on the backside is Strickland, the senior.
That might be the first pair of points in the paint for Fort Valley so far.
D'Angelo Strickland, the senior from Lithonia, got that one. Culver handles. Now Roach. Shot clock already down to 10 for Tuskegee. Now Grepke on the move behind the cylinder with the shot. Nobody touched it, went out of bounds, did not hit the cylinder as well, so it'll be Tuskegee's basketball, but they'll have 5 to shoot.
Now, the last time we saw Fort Valley in this advantageous situation, they ended up fouling a shooter. Let's see how they handle it here. Only 5 seconds, and Tuskegee's going to have to get up something quick here.
Hamilton inbounds it. Does so in the corner to Thomas. He'll get it airborne. Remmer is off the mark. Ziegler clears for Fort Valley.
Better defensive stop there by Fort Valley.
Ziegler on the move inside the paint, slides all the way through left side, missed on the left-hand lay-in. Basketball tapped around and run down by Hamilton and Tuskegee.
Excellent look, bad execution there.
That's great execution by Tuskegee on transition there, though, and inside they're going to get a basket and a whistle.
And Fort Valley's going to have to take advantage. That's the cleanest look they've had at the basket all afternoon. It's still early, but just blew the bunny there.
Ziegler turning that corner. I thought he looks like he expected some traffic there behind and didn't have any.
He was so surprised
Sure.
that he just put too much mustard on the ball. Because everything's been 3 the hard way down in the paint so far for Fort Valley.
Morton trying to get 3 the easy way. He missed on the free throw, though.
Good play, Jim. Good play on Murphy.
Just following your lead here. Out front now. Fort Valley, this is Strickland way outside. Missed on the shot, going back over to the Golden Tigers.
Yeah, you can tell he's not your average three-point shooter. Not a lot of rotation and spin on that ball, but he was open. And in today's basketball, Charles, it comes down to that. If you're open, shoot it. The three-pointer is a higher value shot than the two-pointer, and most basketball minds seem to employ that idea, that metric.
Gravitate right toward it. Williams back out on the floor now for Fort Valley. Thomas, relatively quiet first half for him, pushes back out front with the pass. Jordan Lewis. Now Thomas handles with 12 to shoot.
Jack Sikma is a finalist for the Hall of Fame this year. He was ahead of his time, the big man shooting the three-pointers.
Sure, yeah. Spinner with a heart push inside. Nicely done there by Culver, the junior from Lilburn, Georgia. At the block, Fort Valley forced to push it back out front. Tuskegee with his largest lead of the basketball game, 16-12, and whistles turnover by Fort Valley.
So far for Fort Valley, Charles, when they get the ball in the paint, good things have not happened. Facing the length of that Tuskegee defense, dragging the pivot foot that time. Had a missed opportunity earlier. It feels like a bigger lead than what it is. It's just a 4-point game, but baskets have been so hard to come by here early on.
Indeed. 68-52 when these teams met in December of last year. Tuskegee 48% from behind the arc in that contest, 10 of 21 in three-point shooting. And they out-rebounded Fort Valley in that first meeting 53-38. Right now, Tuskegee with a 16-12 lead. First day opening round of the SIAC championships from the Bill Harris Arena. And we're live on Flo's Hoops. Glad you could join us for our coverage of Game 1, and we'll be here for the entire week from Game 1 to Game 23. And after that 23rd game, we'll know the women and men's champs for the 2019 SIAC basketball season.
We'll also take a really long nap after that 23rd game.
Very long nap.
Charles, you and I did the entire tournament last year. Now, you're going to get a heads up on me this year because I'm only going to do one game with you today. I'll be in it for the long haul starting tomorrow. So you're going to get about 3 games more than me this week. So I see that you have packed up on your throat lozenges, which is your key to success. So you are a year older as I am, but you are just as spry as ever. So it's going to be a great week of basketball here in Birmingham.
Indeed it will be. 4 today to start us off.
Not only will we have a new champion on the men's side with Claflin going over to the CIAA, they also took their mascot, which was the star of the show last year.
Missing Smokey already. Yeah?
Man, the dance moves that Smokey put on. So we're going to have an opportunity for the mascot of the week.
We'll be keeping an eye on that as Thomas gets a basket on the inside for the Golden Tigers.
Yeah, mouse in the house there. That was easy for him down in the paint. Just turn and shoot.
Out front, slipping with the basketball is Evans, somehow able to keep it, and a whistle out front now.
Hey, yeah, impressing Coach Sherrill with his curly kneel there, sliding on the floor and keeping his dribble. Of course, curly kneel with the connection to Johnson C. Smith, but that's not quite how they drew it up in the playbook.
Nope, not at all.
Drew a foul, so there's that.
Non-shooting foul, 7:05 left first half. Fort Valley half-court set, got some ground to make up. Tuskegee with an 18-12 lead. Inside the paint.
The mid-range jumper has been the most successful shot for Fort Valley so far.
Inbound turnover there by Lewis for the Golden Tigers. So the Wildcats will have it. Previous trip down the floor, it was Fox Brennan with that jump shot, making an 18-14 Tuskegee lead.
And that's how quickly momentum can change. You hit a shot, you force a turnover on the other end, you have a chance to cut it to a 1-point game here.
Coming off a screen that time, it was Williams looking for the shot, but it wasn't there. 16 to shoot now. Now he'll have it left corner, pushes a three-pointer there. Spinner won't stay down. Fox Brennan coming over the back, but no call there. I think the call is actually going to be on Tuskegee underneath, kind of bumping out to get the position on Fox Brennan.
And that's a hard shot to get, the dribble back three-pointer, because your momentum is going backwards, and then you've got to elevate and get all that same mojo going forward on the shot. Little easier in the backyard than it is in the first round.
Sure, of the tournament, no question. Fresh 30 for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. They call the foul on Jordan Lewis down low on Fox Brennan. So on a screen now, pushing hard right side. Williams, floaters inside and off the mark.
Got away with a push off there on that shot.
Tuskegee on 3-on-3 now, trying to take advantage. They can't, they'll pull it back.
Actually, Charles, he got away with a forearm shiver.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Shot.
This is Krepke with the basketball. They're trying to work it inside. Thomas trying to get him active. Thomas to the rack with the floater. Off the mark, but Culver got the backside rebound. And his offering is off the mark as well. Here's McMillan now. The senior angles to paint, got the lay-in and the whistle.
We talked about that earlier. If you can't get that shot to go consistently, you can build that confidence by getting to the hoop. Draws the arm as well. Chance for a three-point play.
5:43 remains first half. Wildcats have cut it to a 2-point deficit now. Chance to make it 1 with the free throw coming for McMillan. He's 72% on the line coming into championship action. 68 of 95 on the season for the Wildcats.
Charles, the winner of this game, will play on Wednesday, and waiting in the ranks, #1 seed out of the West, the team they're familiar with, Miles College, and Coach Watson coming over from Benedict during the offseason, and he was a monster at Benedict, and he has immediately turned the fortunes of Miles College around.
Indeed, 16 seasons at Benedict, and then just a 1-year stint over here in Birmingham, or Fairfield, just down the road. He's already put his mark there.
Hey, coaching matters.
I think that's the perfect descriptor. Out front, jumper, Morton, yes.
He got a taste of success early with that 3-ball, and finds a little more right here.
Yeah, had some space there, that trip down the floor. Easy knockdown for him there. 5:06 left first half. Tuskegee with the 21-17 lead. Fort Valley with the basketball.
You know, looking at him, he reminds me of Gerald Green from the Houston Rockets, not only in resemblance, but how he plays as well.
Fox Brennan with another jumper there for the Wildcats. Gave him 3 on that, so the lead now for Tuskegee down to 1. And whistles as the team's past the mid-stripe. Foul going to be called. Call that one on Fox Brennan, I believe, for Fort Valley.
I kind of felt like when we got down to that under-8 timeout, both teams would kind of find their groove, and now we got really good back-and-forth action going now.
Tuskegee with the 1-point lead. Hamilton's got to force the 3-pointer there. Missed on the shot behind the arc, and we're going back the other way.
Yeah, Coach Sherrill was doing a little refereeing of his own on the sidelines, and got the call to go his way there.
Thomas Massey, the senior, guilty of the foul for Tuskegee, as Strickland comes back out on the floor for the Wildcats.
And we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, Charles, but it will be interesting. Miles and Morehouse, the way the brackets match up,
sure,
they could very well meet in the championship. And so far this season, if I'm not mistaken, Miles got the better of Morehouse.
You are not mistaken. Morehouse on a run there, and Miles able to break it up with that win.
Yeah, I missed that game in person. I've seen a lot of Morehouse basketball this year. But Miles had a great weekend in the AUC.
Yeah.
I went to that Clark-Atlanta game where they got that win early on in the year. That's always tough when you got to come to Atlanta, play Clark and Morehouse back-to-back. But Miles came away feeling pretty good about that trip earlier this year.
Yes, sir. I had talked to Coach Watson after that ball game against Morehouse. He recognized the importance of it and was very proud of his team for what they were able to do in Forbes Arena. Down inside the paint, basketball trickles out of bounds. It'll stay with Tuskegee. Coach Sherrill pleading his case at the baseline.
Coach Sherrill, he's waking up now. He started off the game in slow motion. He's now up and animated.
Tuskegee with the basketball. They'll have 12 to shoot on the inbound here. Morton, no problem for him to get it airborne. No problem to knock it down as well.
We'll leave him open. He's going to definitely get it up, and last couple shots have looked good.
So Morton makes it a 24-22 lead for the Golden Tigers. And whistles there. McMillan pushing off for position on Morton, so we go back the other way.
And Fort Valley not as deep as Tuskegee. The one thing that zone does, it kind of allows you to conserve a little bit of energy on the defensive end. But so far here on the second part of the first half, Tuskegee has started to find the weak spots.
3:52 remains first half. Tuskegee leading the basketball game by 2, 24-22 over the Wildcats of Fort Valley. The SIAC Track and Field Championship. In 7 weeks, all roads lead to Rock Hill for the 2019 SIAC Track and Field Championships. Events are set to kick off April 18th. Be sure to visit www.thesiac.com for brackets, schedules, and more. Spring sports time for the SIAC. Always a good time for the track and field, tennis, and all the other, as we call them, non-revenue sports.
Oh man, baseball, softball. I'm looking forward to that. The start of the baseball season has been riddled by rain. I think Noah and his art were in Atlanta all last week. It was a lot of rain on the East Coast.
No question about it. Just absolutely miserable. Looks like they got a lot of rain over this way as well. Ponds almost totally full here in the Birmingham area. Right now from the floor, Tuskegee, 42.9%, 9 of 21. Fort Valley at 36.4, 8 of 22. Rebounding edge to the Golden Tigers, 16-13. In the all-important turnover category, Tuskegee at 6 already, and Fort Valley with 4.
Both teams 3 for 8 from behind the line as far as three-pointers.
Tuskegee with it on there and on the floor. They try to work it inside the Gaines. They have to come back out front. Pushing a three is Boyd, and knocking down the three is Boyd. Boyd at 33% from behind the arc for Tuskegee on the season. But he's already got 2 in this. Well, that was his first three-pointer of the ball game. Ziegler now, top of the key, jumper there. Jordan Clayette, shots off the mark. Rebound comes clear to Thomas. He wants to push. 2-on-2 basketball. Thomas to the rack. Can't finish.
So Fort Valley could have had that offensive rebound. 2 players on the same team fought each other and knocked the ball away from one another.
So we'll go with Fort Valley with 3:08 left in this first half. Women's action to follow here at the SIAC Basketball Championship. It'll be the same Fort Valley school on the women's side and meeting the Lady Badgers of Spring Hill after this contest.
And this is Spring Hill's first tournament for both teams after I don't want to call it probation, but new to the conference, you have to kind of pay your dues before you.
Yeah, they actually have a term of art for that. I can't recall it either, but yeah, we saw them over here year after year, and I kept wondering, okay, when are they going to be in this year? Is it this year? And finally, they get in. Spring Hill women finishing 5th in the West. And men finishing 7th on the West side as well. Long shot from outside by Morton. This time he's not able to convert, and Fort Valley back the other way with the rock.
And Coach Dunn's okay. He's clapping encouragement for his players. If the shot is there, he wants them to take it.
In the corner with the jumper there, that's Williams, and Williams able to rack that one for the Wildcats of Fort Valley.
A long 2 there to cut the lead down to 3.
So Williams gets his first points of the ball game.
Yeah, those 2 guys down there were tangled up coming through the lane. The referee gave them a second to try to negotiate it amongst themselves.
Mediation didn't work, huh? Yeah. Ziegler going to be guilty of the foul there. And that'll send Greg Boyd to the line now in that bonus. So Tuskegee going to be shooting a 1-and-1 here with 1:47 left. Leon Perry, or correction, that's Thomas Hardy, the junior from Gaffney, South Carolina, out on the floor for the Wildcats.
Oh, Gaffney, that is my favorite stopping point.
Oh, yeah.
I make a lot of trips between Atlanta and North Carolina. No cheaper gas than Gaffney, South Carolina.
It's just my signal when I get coming from North Carolina back to Atlanta that, hey, you're getting close.
Yeah, it is. So I literally stop at that same exit
every time.
Gaffney, every time.
Yes, sir. We are such creatures of habit. You know where you are. Get you a good spot and pull in.
I don't want to give away any free advertising, but let me tell you, there's some good coffee, some good biscuits, and some good gas at the same.
Let me guess, you're pouring the coffee in the car and drinking the gas?
Well, it depends on how long I've been on
the road. Right. Questions, right? 29-24 here, first half action. First ball game of the SIAC Championships. From the Bill Harris Arena at the Crossplex, Birmingham, Alabama. Live on Flow Hoops. Glad you could join us for the coverage.
Hey, I have to give a shout out to Tanita Stevenson.
Yeah.
Her first year running the crossplex here.
Sure.
She's doing a great job.
3-on-1 for Tuskegee. Boyd wanted the three. He'll take the three and missed on it. But the backside followed by Roach with the lay-in.
Yeah, Coach Sherrill is going to have to get a breather here for his guys. He knows how crucial this last minute and 12 seconds is. This has been a 4-point kind of back and forth game. Right now that lead is up to 7. He definitely does not want it to be like a 10-point deficit heading into halftime. So
Indeed.
He's going to have to gather the troops here.
Then want to try to keep it as close as he can with that 72 seconds remaining, and now trying to stop that flood by Tuskegee. Great transition there for Tuskegee. They had a 3-on-1 initially. Boyd not able to convert on the three-pointer, but Roach, as a part of that trio down the floor, able to float inside and got the lay-in.
Yeah, just how quickly Coach can go to double digits here. Coach Sherrill knows he's playing just a few less players than Tuskegee is. So he's got to give his team a puncher's chance and keep them close. You keep your team close and you get late, anything can happen.
Critical trip here for the Wildcats coming off of the timeout here. They can't get a basket. This is Williams handling down in the right corner. They're working at the Clyde at the block. McMillan free behind the arc, front of the iron again. They wanted a basket that trip, Toddy. They don't come away with one now. And Tuskegee in fine shape here. Can't run out the first half, but they're going to take a timeout here. Grepke took that one for the Golden Tigers. And you see that a lot now, Toddy, in the first 20 minutes of play. Certainly saw it during the course of this SIAC season, that these coaches know that they can't take that timeout into the second half. So they'll burn it, with even just seconds remaining before the break. And there, Coach Dunn taking it for the Golden Tigers.
Charles, I think we talked about this last year, but the Bill Harris Arena, they have this universal court, so they got 3 different three-point lines out there. You don't need to shoot, I guess the blue line is the NBA line. You don't need to shoot from there, but a lot of times, subconsciously, or maybe you just want to show everybody what you're working with, you end up taking a shot that's a little longer than it needs to be.
Yeah, it can be kind of deceptive to some degree as to which arc you should be behind. But we've seen it here that a lot of them in this first half of play, no question, they were behind the deepest. Yeah. 20 to shoot for the Golden Tigers. About 47 seconds left first half. Trying to slide it inside. Good defensive work there by Brenton Clyde Jordan, the junior from Macon, Georgia, for the Wildcats.
Yep, slid right over the top of his man. Knocked the ball out. That'll leave 13 seconds on the shot clock here.
Roach inbounds at Culver. Trying to push it back out front. Grepke with 10 to shoot. Now Roach out front, 7 for him to fire. He'll take it inside the paint, floater inside. He got the shooter's roll.
That's every part of the rim before falling through.
So good work by Tuskegee on their offensive set. Now Fort Valley needs a basket before the break. McMillan trying to supply it, missed on the crip, but there's Clyde Jordan to follow to clean it up with the lay-in.
And on a few plays, that's been the best offensive option for Fort Valley. Offensive rebounds and putting the ball back in.
Chance for a steal that comes to Thomas instead. 3 to shoot at the buzzer. Yeah, count that basket. And it's Miles Thomas, the junior, second team all-conference, knocking down a big basket, taking the lead for Tuskegee to 10 at the break.
And that's the one thing that we talked about Coach Sherrill. He did not want to see. His team played really hard, trying to stay close. But how quickly a 4-point game can turn into a 10-point game, that's exactly what they're facing now heading into the break.
Tuskegee with a 36-26 lead over the Wildcats of Fort Valley. More action coming here from the SIAC Basketball Championships. Step out for a break here. This is Flow Hoops. We are back live inside the Bill Harris Arena at the intermission of our first game of the 2019 SIAC Basketball Championships. Tuskegee Golden Tigers with a 10-point lead over the Wildcats of Fort Valley, 36-26. Charles Ward, Tolly Carr with the play call. And Tolly, we were talking about at the latter parts of that first half. Fort Valley wanted to keep it close going into the intermission, had it down to about 5 at one point, but Tuskegee on a late run took it up to the double-digit lead.
Well, if you look at the difference of the ball game, I feel like watching the game, Tuskegee is about 4 points better than Fort Valley, all things being equal. Now, the one thing that isn't equal, Charles, is that Tuskegee is in a couple of more three-point shots than Fort Valley has, and you add them up with being about a 4-point better team, extra 6 points behind the line, you have your difference in the ball game.
Absolutely, that's what's showing as it relates to the stats. Tuskegee at 5 of 12 from behind the arc. Fort Valley just 3 of 9 there. The rebounding edge in that first half, Tuskegee, we thought they were a lot larger or taller in terms of stature coming into the ball game. Showing in this first half, got about a 5-point edge there in rebounding, 21-16.
And one metric that you can't measure is how many times, especially early on, that Fort Valley had to readjust their shot. It's almost like quarterback hurries in football. It's not a sack, but it still has an impact on the game. And early on, Fort Valley was just hard for them to get a clean look at the basket. And then we saw that missed layup when they finally got a clean look there. So the height, you can measure it in rebounds, you can measure it in blocks, but even things that you can't measure that you just see with the naked eye is having a difference and an impact in this game.
Miles Thomas with just 3 points in that first half for Tuskegee, but of note, Tolly, for them in that first half, they had 9 players to score in that first half, to your point about him going to a rotation early on.
Yeah, it's interesting because Fort Valley actually has a better balanced offense on the season with 3 players averaging double figures on the year. And for Tuskegee on the season, Miles Thomas is the only player averaging double figures. So you're seeing a lot of guys step up for Tuskegee, and whenever you can see that in a tournament, that has to make you feel good for a coach. And I imagine Jerry Dunn realizes there's a lot of game left here to go in the second half, but he's definitely happy that he's had some people outside of Miles Thomas step up.
Jalen McMillan, we highlighted him in the pregame, the senior for Fort Valley, 3 of 11 from the floor, 2 of 6 from behind the arc. Perfect from the free throw line at 1 and 1. He finished first half with 9 points. Seemed to struggle a bit in that first half, though, Tolly.
Yeah, there was a small window in there where it looked as if he was starting to find the stroke, but then he lost it. 3 of 11, that's a lot of shots to only have hit 3 of them, but we said this from his very first shot. He is a shooter. He has no conscience. It does not bother him when the ball doesn't go in because he thinks in his mind that the very next one is going to go in without a doubt.
17 minutes of play for McMillan in that first half. So set for the second half here of the men's opening round contest from the 2019 SIAC Basketball Championships. Tuskegee will have the basketball to inbound. It'll be Daniel Roach, the senior, just in front of our broadcast position to do that. So it's Roach, Krepke, Morton out on the floor, Culver down inside, and Miles. So those are the initial 5 back out for Coach Dunn. Roach quickly in the corner. Kripp on the jump shot. Clyde rebounds for Fort Valley. So Fort Valley now half-court set. McMillan handling the basketball. Backside pass to Clyde at the baseline. Got it over to Fox Brennan, and Fox Brennan goes lefty, and he got the left-hand floating hook shot.
Hey, nice interior post passing. I'm not quite sure they drew it up that way, but it was effective nonetheless.
So first points of the second half go to the Wildcats of Fort Valley, make it 36-28. Tuskegee with the lead.
Yeah, stop here would go a long way towards Fort Valley's confidence to get back in this game.
Grepke to the rack, and a whistle there on the penetration. Ball's going to be called on Leon Perry, the sophomore from Warner Robins, Georgia, for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. That'll send Krepke to the line to shoot.
He was 3 of 6 in the first half, so about 50%.
And Krepke missed on the first free throw.
Hey, but he has the best shoes on the floor. He has some of those vintage Air Jordans. I'm not a guy that can keep up with which number it is. I got lost after Air Jordan 1, but Those are some nice kicks he has on there.
Yeah, didn't do much at the line with the kicks there, though. Missed them both.
If you want to be like Mike, you got to hit those free throws. He looks like Mike that time he was shooting them with his eyes closed.
Yeah, Mike, you'll eat anything. That looked like that. 36-28.
Charles with the low-key shade. Very good,
Oh,
Charles.
man. McMillan. Shirt on the floater, but backside put back by Fox Brennan.
Busted plays have been their best offense.
Let's just go down, throw it up, huh?
But there's a lot to be said for it. Second chance points is a key stat for a reason. They get another one to go right there.
So Fox Brennan picks up his 9th point of the ball game. And the lead now for Tuskegee at 6, 36-30. Just underway second half. Roach behind the arc. Now Thomas. Back to Roach. Pushes a 3. Missed on the 3. Rebound. Diving forward is Jordan Clyett. He's tied up by Culver inside the paint.
The shot clock went off, but I was pretty sure that grazed the rim there.
It did between the cylinder and the rim, no question.
They're going to say Fort Valley ball here.
They'll reset it with 18:24 remaining.
Roach is going to the bench, but he came out aggressive here in the second half. A couple of 3 balls. Neither went his way. He's going to take a seat right now, but great opportunity for Fort Valley, who's scored the first 4 points of the second half, to get this back down to a 4-point game here, maybe a 3-point game.
This is Perry handling out front. They're going down to the block. Jordan Clyett deep at the baseline, throw it away. So they don't come away with a conversion there. Tuskegee half-court set now. Grepke to Thomas. Now behind the arc on the push. This is Hamilton. At the block, Culver slides to paint. Can't get it airborne. Got it to Morton. He got it airborne and missed on the shot. Rebound to Fort Valley. Williams handles. Slides to paint. All the way through left side. Left it short. But there, another put back inside by Sean Fox Brennan.
Offensive rebounds, the key to success for Fort Valley.
Sean Fox Brennan, very aggressive in this second half.
And Tuskegee on defense really rallies to the ball to challenge it, and that's leaving the lane open for these offensive rebounds for Fort Valley.
So Tuskegee has not scored since the timeout, since the halftime. Play stoppage here, and they're going to call a foul on Cavante Williams for Fort Valley.
So the fundamental that they are showing, or the philosophy, if your man goes to help on D, you follow him. He's going to block the ball. He comes off the rim. You follow him. You're right there where the ball is.
Tuskegee with the basketball now with 14 to shoot. Grepke, top of the key, Thomas. He's tied up there. He'll spin at the foul line. Can't get the shot off, though. Now 6 to shoot for Tuskegee. Whistles.
Timeout or stepped out of bounds?
Looks like he stepped out of bounds. Just in front of the Tuskegee bench.
That's the second time we've seen that today by Tuskegee.
Sure. Saw one right here in front of us in the first half. 17 minutes left in the ball game. Tuskegee still scoreless in the second half.
I thought the issue was depth perception on the goal, not depth perception on the sideline.
Perry handles. Jordan Clyett, left corner. Top of the key, Fox Brennan. Head fake, can't get the shot off. Now Williams on the move. Floater inside, missed on that. Got the rebound. Knocked out of bounds by Hamilton, so it'll stay with Fort Valley with only 1 second to shoot.
I didn't think anybody touched that, which disqualified him from touching the ball, because it looked like it was a contested shot that ended up being an air ball. Maybe somebody did get their fingers on it, but they're in quite a hole right here. 1 second, that's enough time to catch and shoot, but not much as far as maybe a quick dribble, a really quick dribble.
16:34 left in the ball game. Fort Valley has had some success on the inside, albeit based upon what you said, follow-ups to some first errant shots. See if they, after the timeout, elect to go right into the inside versus from the perimeter.
This is one of those games, Charles, I feel like the first team to 50 might be the winner.
It was a 68-52 win for Tuskegee when they first met, but this one on point to be a little bit less in terms of scoring at this point.
I'd like to say hello to all the Tuskegee and the Fort Valley fans who are watching on Flow Hoops right now. we've already had our first taste of ball and parlay at halftime, which is the unofficial theme song of Tuskegee that is expertly played by the marching Tigers. Well, there have been a few schools who've tried to take that ball and parlay and put their own twist on it. But,
yeah,
that is definitely a staple of Tuskegee.
Yeah, some things you may not be able to kind of copyright a trademark as your own, and nobody else can do it.
Yeah, originally it's a rap song that I wasn't familiar with coming up, but that doesn't say a lot because I'm old and crusty. But
They go to the inside on the alley-oop. We got it airborne before the buzzer, so the same formula paying off for the Wildcats down low.
Man, that what woulda, shoulda, coulda been a thunderous dunk, but what it did was reset the shot clock, allow Fort Valley to get a couple of shots at it on the offensive board, and once again, back in is now a 2-point game, Charles.
16-10 left in the ball game. And the Wildcats have clawed back into it. Morton, right side, to the rack, floaters off the mark. Whistles inside, and we're going back the other way. I think Morton, after that shot, coming in trying to retrieve that rebound.
Well, the momentum on the second half has clearly been on the side of Fort Valley. Tuskegee hasn't put any points on the board yet.
They call that foul on Culver, the junior for Tuskegee. So Fort Valley, chance to tie it.
Or take the lead.
Yeah, yeah. So Fox Brennan, to inbound it. He's been a big part of the Wildcat push in the second half. Over to Perry, the sophomore.
Basketball, a game of adjustments, and you have to give credit to Coach Sherrill. He made some magic on the chalkboard at halftime.
McMillan going to go alley-oop, this time too deep inside. And the turnover sends it back to the Golden Tigers.
It was there, the timing just off on the pass.
I get the sense that Coach Sherrill really wanted a longer set there on the offensive end of the floor. 15:47 left. Tuskegee with a 36-34 lead. More basketball on Flow Hoops after this. We are back live inside the Bill Harris Arena at the Crossplex here in Birmingham, Alabama. Day one of the SIAC Basketball Championships. Men's action in this contest, Tuskegee and the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Tuskegee led 36-26 at the break, and they have not scored since the second half started.
Winner of this game will go on to face Miles, and Morehouse waiting for the winner of our game that's coming up later today, Kentucky State and Payne.
Number one and number one out of each division. Miles out of the west, Morehouse out of the east. Wildcats scrambling for the basketball on the floor, and we're going their way with the rock.
What's your prognostication, Charles? Will we run chalk this week, or do you have a sense of a Cinderella in Birmingham?
Well, if you consider Miles a Cinderella with Watson over there.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, that glass slipper does not fit. Sorry.
You go by virtue of the program, you could think that, but not with him. McMillan just cannot get on track from the outside. Missed on that three-point shot.
I think Albany State is an interesting
good call.
team,
Good call. You talk
keep
about.
your eye on this week.
That's a good call there. Great
they
job.
Actually are off until Thursday. They have that
Yeah.
seed Quarterfinal action begins on Wednesday, continues Thursday, so that's interesting. The number 1 seeds will play on Wednesday, and Albany State, a 2 seed out of the East, they get to rest up all the way until Thursday.
Thursday at 3:15, they will meet the winner of the Benedict Lane ball game, which will take place tomorrow afternoon here at Bill Harris Arena.
Yeah, so it will bring up that question, Charles. Is it rest or
Sure.
is it rust?
Sure, that's exactly the question you run into if you wait that late to play. Factor in the end of the regular season with the delay to start of the tournament and add those games. So the time could be either a bonus or a curse to you.
Boy, Fort Valley is trying to make this backdoor alley-oop work here. They've had a small opening, but it's got to be a definite. It's got to be there if you're going to pull the trigger on that.
So Tuskegee back the other way now, still looking for their first points in the second half. On the weave, Hamilton.
And as cold as Tuskegee was to start the game, they're actually colder to start the second half.
Boyd lost his dribble way out front, now into Krepke on the inside, and Krepke is fouled. He'll go to the line.
Shots are hard to come by. Get closer.
That's a good idea.
But Fort Valley can't feel bad about who's at the line. Grepke has not had a great game so far from the charity stripe.
3 of 8. And the spinner pops out on the first one. So 3 of 9 as Andrew Ziegler comes out on the floor now for the Wildcats. He will replace Thomas Hardy, who was out there for Coach Sherrill. Grepke for the second of 2, and he got that one the fall. So at 14:07 left in the ball game, Tuskegee gets his first point of the second half. Perry across the timeline now.
It's a low-scoring affair, but pretty exciting here to start out the first round of the SIAC tournament.
Perry over to Jordan Clyette. Now on the move, McMillan, and a whistle on his penetration.
It's going to be before the shot here.
Grepke guilty of the shot, of the foul there on McMillan, but on the floor, so Fort Valley will inbound it just to right of their cylinder. McMillan just in front of the Fort Valley bench. They are trying to get him engaged. McMillan to the rack, left that one short. Good defensive effort there by Tuskegee down low.
Again, that doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but changing that shot right there after the gathering yourself from the spin, McMillan had to regather himself in midair to try to get that off.
And inside, Boyd challenges, got the lay-in, and he drew the foul. Boyd listed at 5'10", went inside against the taller Wildcats.
That's what they call a grown man move to the bucket there.
Take him out there on the replay. Look at the penetration underneath over Fox-Brennan. And Fox-Brennan at 6'7". Boyd able to get underneath, got that lay in, and gets rewarded at the free throw line. And he knocks down the free throw.
Oh, momentum, just sliding over, changing seats. Boy, there's no bigger front runner in the world than Mr. Momentum.
Absolutely, going to make all the difference in the game. For Tuskegee, very quiet in the start of the first half. McMillan still struggling on the inside, missed on the lay-in there. Boy, you just get the sense that Jalen is just really, really pushing himself out there, maybe to the point of, to his detriment.
Well, you have tall, fast players for Tuskegee, so it's challenging enough just to get past their length, and then he gets to the hole, and then he's got to get over their length.
The inbound play, Fox-Brennan pushes toward the cylinder. He was fouled. That would have counted had it gone.
Yep, did a good job of selling it as well, in case there was any doubt. Put an extra little kick on this other shot.
So Fox-Brennan to shoot. 72% free throw shooter for the Wildcats. And he got the first one to fall. So Fox-Brennan already in double figures now. That's his 14th point of the ball game. 13:07 remains. Perfect that trip, 2 of 2.
It's going to bring it to a 4-point game.
So Boyd in the backup. Fort Valley trying to step up the pressure now. Ziegler out front guarding Boyd. Right side, Jordan Gaines on the floor with a handle. Now that's Morton. Back to Gaines, stops, pops, and drops there for the Golden Tigers inside the paint.
So Tuskegee left the door open for Fort Valley to come back, and now they are waking up here in the second half. Let's see how Fort Valley responds.
42-36, Tuskegee with the lead. McMillan behind the arc, hard push by him, leans back with the jumper, on target this time. He's not going to be denied. If he goes down, he's going to go down shooting.
Probably going to have more success on that fadeaway than he is driving to the hoop, is what the data suggests so far in this game.
The senior from Stone Mountain, could be his last hurrah. He knows it, so he's leaving everything out on the floor thus far. 12:03 remains. Good hard step there by Hamilton. Nice look and a rip of the basket.
That's hard to guard right there. That left-handed shot.
44-38 after the nice hoop by Riley Hamilton. McMillan trying to answer now. Top of the key, Fox Brennan. Here comes Fox Brennan on a pop out, and he knocked it down for Fort Valley. Boy, it's changing baskets here. Team starting to step things up from the floor.
Fort Valley looking to pick up full court. Passing lane that time, out of bounds. I think it's going to stay with Tuskegee.
Indeed, it will. Fort Valley reacting as though it will stay with Tuskegee. Comes with a timeout, 11:27 left in the ball game. And Tuskegee leading it 44-40 over the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Take a break here on Flow Hoops. Back live inside the Bill Harris Arena. 11:27 remaining in this men's contest. First one of the 2019 SIAC Basketball Championships. Tuskegee with a 44-40 lead over the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Right now, Tuskegee 44% from the floor, 16 of 36. Wildcats 16 of 43 at 37. Hard push, left side, Williams to the rack. It won't stay down on the left-hand side.
Well, those are the ones that are hard to stomach. When you're right there, you lay it up and it just rolls out.
Indeed. Fort Valley, if they wind up losing this ball game, you can reflect back on that very thing as one of the reasons they will. Just have not been able to finish. Floater right side and finishing there is Riley Jordan Hamilton, that is.
He was rocking the cradle coming back down the court.
And back the other way, doing a little rocking himself, is Thomas Hardy at the block. He got the lay-in and a whistle.
Yeah, those are the things that show up on film when a coach says, that extra second you spent rocking the cradle, and then you get a foul on defense in transition.
Gave it right back. 46-42, good transition basket there by the Wildcats. Thomas Hardy, the junior, with the lay-in.
But hey, live your best life. Make them dance, Lance.
Free throw was missed, but a whistle there. And they're going to have a lane violation. Looks like it was Hamilton getting in there too soon. So Hardy will have another crack from the line.
Hamilton's face is the epitome of any college basketball player who believes he has done nothing wrong.
Me? In the lane?
Me?
Never.
What?
I never go in there. And the Wildcats cannot take advantage of the second opportunity. So Tuskegee will have the basketball. We go to 10:40 left now.
Hamilton's probably thinking, ball don't lie.
Yeah, told you. This is Thomas, had it tapped from behind, but it'll come clear to Gaines, and Tuskegee will keep it. They're trying to get it to Miles Thomas, but they want him to work the other side of the floor. Now they push it back to him. Thomas pushes the three and drains the three from Fairfield.
Whoa.
My, oh my, way out front on that one.
Yeah. That, in the NBA All-Star game, that was one of those 4-pointers in the celebrity game they had.
Turnover by the Wildcats, and here come the Golden Tigers. Hamilton pushes at the block. Flush by Gaines.
You start to feel the crowd getting into it here.
9:53 left, and we take a look at that action back on the other end of the floor by Tuskegee. Hamilton, watch that good push bounce pass at the fence there, and down with the flush goes Gaines.
I mean, that was a little Ben Wallace type venom on the rim. Wallace also a Naismith finalist for the first time this year for the Hall of Fame, representing his HBCU, Virginia Union, along with the Detroit Pistons and a couple other stops in the NBA, but definitely the pride of Virginia Union.
Someone wasn't in New York there for a minute. I believe he was with the.
Started with Orlando, but he definitely made his bones with the Pistons.
No question. Right side Boyd to the cylinder, and he got it going forward, and it fell good for the sophomore.
Well, Charles, we said the first team to 50 might be the winner here. Fort Valley, for a brief period early on, looked as if they were going to come out and get ahead of Tuskegee. Were never able to take the lead, and now the Golden Tigers have awakened.
Yeah, Tuskegee in that little funk to start the second half gave the Wildcats a chance to take a lead there, got down to cut the margin to 2, but just not able to push it all the way. A couple of opportunities down the floor for the Wildcats in that sequence made the difference about them taking the lead, just not able to finish.
Yeah, so this is probably the largest lead of the game. It was 10 points at halftime, which was the largest lead of the first half, now up to 11. And, you know, this type of game here, 11 feels more like 20 almost.
And Coach Sherrill knows that that's why they took the time out there.
Yeah, points have definitely been a premium. Charles, you got a busy day ahead of you, man. You got a couple of women's games on the way. Fort Valley and Spring Hill coming up next, and then later tonight, defending, I'm looking ahead, Lane and Payne tonight. Yeah,
that one's 7:45, and we've got another women's contest sandwiched in there at 5:30 with the Thoroughbreds of Kentucky State and the Lady Lions of Payne College, all here from the Bill Harris Arena. Jordan Clyett, foul line extended, oh yeah. Easy for him.
Well, that's able to stop the bleeding a bit. Let's see what Fort Valley's going to do on the defensive end here. They're going to pick up at half court, apply a little pressure.
Boyd out front, 53-44, Tuskegee leads. This is Thomas, second team All-SIAC player, battles a three-pointer there. It hit the cylinder, had a chance to fall back in, but came out, and here come the Wildcats now.
Felt he was fouled. I would agree with him, but he did not get the call.
McMillan, the senior, fires the three-pointer. That one's off the mark. Thomas clears with authority for Tuskegee. So Fort Valley with another missed opportunity in that half-court set. Boyd pushes left side, got it airborne. I would have counted had it gone, but he drew the whistle. He'll be shooting from the line. Greg Boyd's really made a big difference for Tuskegee in the second half.
He's the shortest player out there, but driving to the hole, he shows his will and skill. Hit a big and one earlier and draws the foul to shoot 2 here.
Andrew Ziegler set to come in next dead ball for the Wildcats. Boyd good from the free throw line on the first.
Andrew Ziegler is going to have to pull a Zig Ziglar out here and get Fort Valley motivated and ready to go for a strong push. So millennials are like,
who's Zig Ziglar? Right? A guy with double Z's, right? Z squared.
What are these things you speak of?
Sure. And Boyd got them both on the line. That enables him to depart the basketball game. Caleb Morton, another sophomore, back out in his place in the rotation. So Ziegler down in the corner, Fox Brennan. Slide pass in the paint, they throw it away.
Yeah, that ball was tipped, and it's a turnover.
They were trying to work it inside the McMillan. They know that the difference is if they can get him sparked here, these last 7 minutes plus will be the difference down the stretch. Has not had a great game, but he can change things if he can get on fire here.
Nice spin.
Morton will draw the foul there, and he'll go to the line.
Well, you look at Fort Valley right now, down 11 and potentially going down more. You want to get this lead down to about 6 points is manageable, but if you keep it in 10 points and north, it's quickly going to be over with here.
Timeout on the floor, 7:45 remains. Tuskegee with a 55-44 lead. And right now, you look at the output for Jalen McMillan, 18 points on average for the season right now with just 11, but 7 minutes left. He's got to make a hard push to really give the Wildcats a chance here, and they know it. They're concentrating on trying to get him the basketball, live or die by what he does.
And it can happen fast, Charles. If you think back to the first half, it was a 4-point game with about 2 minutes to go, and about 90 seconds of action, Tuskegee was able to pump it up to a 10-point lead. So momentum can switch, but it has been resting with Tuskegee for the last few minutes.
The SIAC is returning to the Good Life City for its 2019 baseball and softball championships. Join us in Albany as the top 8 teams compete for the SIAC crown. The championships will be held May 2nd through the 5th. To be the first to hear tournament and announcements and information about it, visit www.thesiac.com.
Hey, they aren't under the shed, but they are sounding good. The Crimson Vipers bringing life to Bill Harris Arena. Nice compliment to the game. Glad to see they can make the short trip over. We might have to see those purple people for miles.
Yeah,
interesting to see if they
bring some people. I'm pretty sure they'll have their folks here and the pep bands.
Oh, man, they have an awesome brass band.
Morton, first free throw. He's good on that one. He's got 12 in the ball game. First free throw conversion for him. Tuskegee from the line, 9 of 16 as a team. Now 10 of 17. And now 11 of 18 after the 2 by Morton. That trip for the Golden Tigers. Ziegler pushes Fox Brennan. Nice head fake. Got some space with the jumper. Oh, yeah.
He has that mid-range jumper down pat.
19 in the ball game for Fox Brennan, along with 8 rebounds. Full court pressure by Fort Valley now. Trying to maybe step up the tempo some, see if that will work to their advantage. Grepke out front now for the Golden Tigers. Fort Valley going to go, the Golden Tigers with kind of a weave offense up top to run some time and get a good quality shot selection. This time Krepke is going to be fouled by Fox Brennan on his way to the rack left side. So in the bonus, it'll be Cam Krepke at the line with the 1-and-1.
Yeah, not quite time where you want to take air out of the ball, but it's getting closer and closer.
Yep. 11-point lead for the Golden Tigers as Thomas, the junior, second team all-conference player, back out on the floor for Coach Dunn and Tuskegee.
We've been jinxing this young man all afternoon at the free throw line. I'm not going to say anything. Let's see. There, see, if we don't talk about his percentage, it works out better for him.
Well, just say something this time. Let's see if we really put the jinx on him here.
Well, he's under 50% on the afternoon from the free throw line. Okay,
so it's not us, right? Yeah,
not
sure. Relax. You can stand on the ladder now. Yeah. Let the black cat in front of you, man. You okay?
We just don't want to impact the game with our jinx ability here.
59-46, the largest lead of the contest now for Tuskegee. Ziegler out front, pushes near the mid-stripe with the pass to Williams. Williams, hard push right side, lost his balance momentarily, going to wave it off, yeah. stumbled ever so slightly on that turn at the corner. And crew chief Earl Lewis right on top of it with the play call.
Hey, on the women's side, Benedict is definitely a lot of people's favorite to win it. I see Coach Rice is in the stands. He's enjoying a little hoops action here.
Congratulations, Coach Rice, named SIAC Coach of the Year. His Lady Tigers undefeated in conference play this year, 15-0. Boy, you talk about the duo of Rice, and when Watson was there at Benedict, it was just an annual to expect to see them late in the tournament. Roach at the buzzer had a look and popped out for him. Got to go over to the Wildcats now.
Yeah, the Benedict ladies won it the first year in the Bill Harris Arena, which was 2 full seasons ago.
Yep.
Won the championship game. So.
Coach Rice in its 7th year, just racking up all kinds of accolades. That 68% winning percentage for Benedict. Shot out front by McMillan, and that storyline continues as he misses there. And we go down to 5:40 left in the ball game. And this may be the time that Coach Dunn wants to take some air out of the basketball.
Yeah, well, I figured once you get down to the 5-minute mark, you definitely want to massage that lead.
Line drive jumper there by the junior Miles Thomas. And the Golden Tigers now starting to pile it on. 61-46, we go down to 5:20 left.
Yeah, this is one of those games, if you weren't here and you just see the box score, if it continues at this pace, really won't tell the story of just how close this game was midway through the second half.
Sure. Wildcats with a chance to claim a lead coming into the intermission, trailing by 10 starting the second half. Got it down to as little as 2, but couldn't push it any further. Thomas to Morton. Under 5 left now.
Well, we never want to say it's over before it's over, but Tuskegee, Miles, second round.
Ziegler with the steal, challenged by Thomas, and he will go to the line. Thomas quick to go over and let him know that he didn't intend anything unintentional about that.
Yeah, that was a hard foul, and that was a hard fall as well, but he seems to be okay.
So with 4:41 left, it'll be Ziegler at the line shooting 2 here for Fort Valley.
That could go down. If they end up playing, that could go down as maybe one of the better attended games of the week. Miles and Tuskegee,
I would think so, yeah.
That's one of the best rivalries in the SIAC. And it's interesting. It's a 3-way rivalry the way I see it. Morehouse, Tuskegee, Miles.
Well, you know, to your point, Tolly, that outside of basketball play, that's what that's the matchup that everybody kind of wants to see deep into the tournament, because it draws more fans because of the locality of these schools, and it just makes for a more exciting time. So right now, you know, things on track for Tuskegee to meet Miles on Wednesday here inside the Bill Harris Arena.
Yeah, you could potentially have 2 bands in the house, a lot of fans who don't have to make a long trip.
The thing about that one, that was an afternoon contest at 3:15. Preferably, you like to have that one later.
Yeah, well, you know, feel that throat starting to act up a little bit if I'm a Tuskegee fan.
Sure. There's another floater inside there.
You know, they say that bug is going around, Charles.
Well, send them to the table. We got plenty of cough drops over here.
Yeah. I don't know where you stack up. I didn't know you could buy cough drops wholesale, but apparently Charles is the plug if you need a cough drop anywhere in the city of Birmingham.
3:56 remains. Tuskegee 61, Fort Valley 49. Winner trying to push on to the contest on Wednesday against the Golden Bears of Miles College.
And, you know, you look at Miles. I know they dealt with some injuries at one point during the season, and they didn't have a bad season, but, you know, they had some ups and downs at one point in the schedule. Still good enough to be the #1 seed out of the West, but coming into the tournament, I don't think that you could ask for a better matchup than to have Tuskegee and Miles face off like we just talked about. And we can't get this far down the road, but if it were to play out to have a Miles and a Morehouse final. I think a lot of people would be happy with that
Sure,
matchup.
absolutely. Bracket's certainly set up for that to happen. Just depends on what the teams do during the course of the tournament. Miles at 7-18 overall and 11-3 at home this year. And conference play 14-4 in the first year of head coach Fred Watson, who just kind of came in and kept the pedal on the metal for that program and continuing his winning ways from his days at Benedict.
Yeah, there was a stretch there midway through January where they lost 2 games in a row. That was the stretch I was talking about.
Boy, you're kind of picky there, aren't you, Tom?
No, I mean, they had been rolling. I mean, you look at from December all the way through, they had been winning. So 2 games in a row didn't raise a lot of antennas, just something that you notice, but they have bounced back, and they are here as a #1 seed.
So Fort Valley now, McMillan still trying to get off here. Leans back with the jumper. Spinner won't stay down for him. He just cannot believe the way things have gone for him in this opening round ball game. Just cannot find the range.
And still, I know we've been pushing ahead here in our conversation, but it's still not over. It's just a 12-point game with 3:39 to go. And with a 3-point shot, you can erase that type of deficit quickly.
So we'll stay on the Wildcat end of the floor there. At the line, it'll be D'Angelo Strickland to shoot, the senior from Lithonia. So Fort Valley, with only McMillan and Strickland seniors on that squad. So Coach Sherrill with a bright future ahead of him as it relates to retaining players and picking up some more in all season. So expect Fort Valley to really kind of stay in the fray and contention for the SIAC championships going forward.
Oh yeah, he's just getting started, man. Fort Valley has that nice arena that they play in there. He's got a lot of tools to work with.
HPE Complex, one of the nicer ones in the SIAC. So free throws good by Strickland. Lead for Tuskegee is 10.
You have to think about all the recruiting trails that he made coming from the CIAA. He's going to be able to tap into those as well. It just takes a little bit of time.
3:30 left in this one. Fort Valley running out of time with Tuskegee handling on a half-court set now. Boyd handles out front. Shot clock at 12. Now Hamilton takes a turn. Krepke with 8 to shoot. Ziegler batted it on the defense. Now 5 to shoot. Thomas knows it. He'll push a 3-pointer. And the rebound comes clear to Williams. Up the floor to Ziegler. Ziegler slides the paint behind the arc. Fox Brennan for 3. Oh, yeah.
Fox Brennan has been the man here in the second half. Their offense in the first half was offensive putbacks. In the second half, they've been depending on shots from the perimeter. They might make a late push here.
Fox Brennan with that 3-pointer up to 21 points in the ball game. Leads all scorers and makes it a 61-54 lead for Tuskegee with 2:47 left.
We'll see what happens at the free throw line here, but coming back on the other end, they could make this interesting.
Daniel Roach, the senior, shooting here. Can't sharpen the number 2 pencils yet in terms of bracket pushes as Roach.
Are those still requirements, Charles? Do people still have to take the test with the bubble paper and use the number 2 pencil, or just do it on an iPad?
I think that's the way things have gone now, Todd, since your days of taking them in.
Oh, man, I remember every school year, man, you get a fresh pack of number 2 pencils.
Carry it through the year.
Never understood, like, I never had a number 1 or number 3 pencil. I don't know what the difference was.
Yeah, I think I've heard a special on NPR, them talking about the number 2 pencils, where they were made and the differences between those grades. I think it's got something to do with the amount of, Fox Brennan stumbles in the court there.
Yeah, well, Fort Valley did not come up with 2 points on that end.
Needed them badly as Boyd hoists a three and knocks down a three there for the Golden Tigers. That was a big basket there by Boyd.
Might have been the dagger right there, pushing the lead back up to 12.
2:10 left. Williams.
They're going to have to come quick and in a hurry now.
Ziegler, left corner. Slides it inside McMillan to the rack. Missed on the lay-in, but McMillan fouled. He'll go to the line to shoot.
Yeah, I like his chances at the free throw line, but you see even there, down in the post, it's just been a struggle all day for McMillan.
1:58 remains. We're opening round here at the SIAC Championships. Glad you could join us for our coverage on Flow Hoops. Tolly Carr going to take a break after this ball game and rejoin us tomorrow here at the Bill Harris Arena. 3 more on tap this afternoon. Guest commentary coming for the remaining 3. We'll introduce them as we get set for the 3 to come after this.
Well, you know, Charles, you just can't jump right into the entree, man. You got to have an appetizer. So today we'll just wet the palate today and
sure, come back for that 5er tomorrow.
Hey, tomorrow is all steak, baby.
Yeah,
5 games in a row.
That's the full thing, the full entree there tomorrow.
Oh, man.
No doubt.
Baked potato, Brussels sprouts, you name it.
Boyd out front. 1:44 left. Tuskegee trying to put the close on this one. Fouled out front by Williams, catching up. So Williams picks up his 3rd, and that'll send Boyd back to the line for Tuskegee. Boyd off the bench with 17 points. On the season, his average was just under 6. He got that first free throw. That's Jordan Gaines, the sophomore, back out on the floor now for Coach Dunn and Tuskegee. And Boyd, perfect 2 of 2 from the line.
You know, Coach Dunn has really been wanting to get things just going in the right direction at Tuskegee. Had a better year this year than last year. A good run in the SIAC tournament this year would go a long way. And
McMillan finally hits a 3-pointer from outside just in front of the Fort Valley bench. That'll cut the lead to 10. But a minute and 32 seconds left. Wildcats take a timeout after that basket by McMillan. Just hope that's not too late.
Yeah, they're going to have to get some stops, some turnovers. They might go to the hack-a-shack philosophy here.
Sure, and hope they get the benefit of Tuskegee not performing well at the line. Right now, Tuskegee in the ball game, 13 of 20 from the free throw line. So these free throws will make a difference here for Tuskegee in this last minute, 32. So winners of this ball game will push on Wednesday to meet the Golden Bears Miles College. We'll have all that action for you here on Flow Hoops.
Yeah, you missed it earlier in the broadcast. Man, the turnaround that Miles has had. You get a new coach, and I tell you what, Fred Watson comes over from Benedict, and man, I mean, he hit the ground running, literally.
Minute 32 remains in this one. First day of the SIAC Championships. Full court pressure by the Wildcats, trying to see if they can force a quick turnover here. Boyd in the corner, doubled there immediately, and he'll take another timeout for Tuskegee. And about 4 or 5 seconds running off the clock there with 1:27 left now.
Yep, they get that pressure in the corner, and you're able, that's the worst place you want to be if you're Tuskegee, and that's exactly where you want to push the offense if you're Fort Valley State, because not only do you have the benefit of the double team, but the sideline and the baseline becomes a defender as well.
To be among the...
They set the trap, they set the bait. Tuskegee took it, but what they really need is a turnover.
Fort Valley, when I look back on this basketball game, just a lot of opportunities to take advantage of a lull in the play by Tuskegee. but just not able to push all the way up that hill to take a lead. It will be Hamilton just in front of the Fort Valley bench to inbound it. Looks up the floor, Grepke 2-on-1, but they won't take advantage of that. They want to pull that clock off instead. Now a foul quickly there by McMillan or either Williams in the front court. They'll call it on McMillan. He'll pick up his fourth with 1:22 left. Grepke with some free throws here. About that first one. Morton and Gaines back out on the floor for Coach Dunn.
Yeah, tickled the twine there.
And Tuskegee trying to do all he can to make sure that these are relatively peaceful. 1:22 on their way to the win. Grepke got them both from the line. Fort Valley chasing. It comes in the corner to Ziegler. Ziegler bounced past it but threw it right inside to Grepke. Grepke doubled immediately in the backcourt now, and he'll be going back to the free throw line for Tuskegee.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Fort Valley calls off the Dogs here because it's just not going their way. I don't think you can if you want to, but I don't think they're going to be able to foul their way back into this one here.
Yeah, 1:12 left. Maybe a chance for a curtain call for Jalen McMillan, the senior for Fort Valley, just to honor his contribution to the Wildcat program.
He's had a heck of a career. His brightest moment in the tournament a couple of seasons ago, he was just 1 inch away from winning it. He had a good look at a three-pointer that would have defeated Clark Atlanta. It went just long, but hasn't been able to get back to that championship game since then.
Fox Brennan. Williams. All the way through underneath, missed on the left-hand lay-in. That's been a familiar theme all game long for the Wildcats, just missing on the easy shots. And yet another foul as we go back to the Tuskegee end of the floor. So looks like Tuskegee's advancing here. And it will be an Alabama showdown on Wednesday with Tuskegee meeting the Golden Bears of Miles College.
Yeah, the Twitter talk has started already, I'm quite sure. If you follow the social media accounts for Miles, Morehouse, and Tuskegee, man, those, and it's all good-natured ribbing. It never gets out of bounds, but man, it is some of the funniest ribbing that you'll see on Twitter.
Yeah.
Done correctly, I would say.
Left side, Williams missed there on a lay-in.
And I think they've abandoned the fouling.
Ziegler out front, you're right. Looks like they're just content to just play solid defense with the final 40 seconds left here. So Grepke. Down in the corner now. This is Morton forced to take a three-pointer. Missed on the shot. Ziegler clears. There's an easy flush by Williams back the other way with 20 seconds left. And Grepke out front. And that's about where they want to leave it here. 10 seconds left, nobody really guarding. Grepke doesn't have to take another shot. Sequence with the shot clock and the game clock. And that's the way it's going to end. It'll be a 74-60 win for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. Opening round of the SIAC championship. They win it over the Wildcats of Fort Valley. So Coach Jerry Dunn and his Golden Tigers advance to second round play. They'll meet the Golden Bears of Miles College here in the Bill Harris Arena at 3 o'clock here inside. So Tuskegee going to go now to 13-14 record overall, and they'll go to 9-10 in conference play, 5th out of the West. Joined now in postgame by head coach Jerry Dunn. Coach, thanks and congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. It's a good win for us. We've been struggling a little bit. We've had some guys hurt all year, and as soon as we get some momentum going, we lose the guy. So hopefully You know, I told these guys before the game, I said, we won 8 straight, so let's try to put together 4 straight.
In that first half, it was kind of a close first half of play. You broke out right at the end and had a 10-point lead and hit a lull coming right out of the break where it just seemed like it was difficult for you to score. What were you telling your team there at that point?
Well, I thought in the first half when it was a close game, we kept trading baskets. We can't continue to trade baskets. Once we made some consecutive stops, then we kind of opened the game up a little bit. We came out in the second half, we had 4 or 5 possessions where we didn't get anything out of it. So now they come down and they score 2 to 3 buckets, and now it's a different ball game. But our guys stayed with it, and they continued to fight, which is real key for us.
Because they cut it to 2 at one point, and then you just really kind of, every time they tried to make a run, you were able to answer that and keep a lead, never lost it. Yeah. But got some outstanding play from the sophomore guard, Greg Boyd, this afternoon for you.
Greg is, man, a welcome sight. You know, he's one of the guys that's been hurt. We didn't even take him on the Central State, Kentucky State trip. And there again, we've had that all year where we had missing pieces.
So now you push into the next round of the tournament, and you meet a familiar foe in the Golden Bears of Miles College. Your thoughts about that ball game and what it's going to take to beat them?
Well, you know, they're a very good basketball team. They got a lot of depth, a lot of moving pieces, especially off the dribble. And the interior stuff is they got an interior game. So we gotta take care of the interior part of the game, and we gotta really do a good job of taking away dribble drives. But you know, it's a robbery, so you know I think our guys will be up.
Now you have a day off. What's the plan in terms of the free day tomorrow?
Film. Yeah, you can't do a lot. You know, I don't want guys to have tired legs, so I really want to try to get a lot of film work done. I think it's more mental right now than anything else.
Coach, you win this one first round 74-60 over the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Congratulations.